So also, with those 3 episodes combined, I would say it's probably the most downloads also of any of our guests. Most downloaded guests.
Yeah, because
I got a lot of family.
Yeah,
they like that. Hey, whatever.
They like to hear you talk.
It's for the brand, man. Whatever. It's whatever. Talk real quick. What food we got over here? I don't even remember. What's over here?
Some chicken wings,
some
meatballs,
and
it's like sausage patties or something.
Oh, like sliders. Yeah.
Is that what it is? Sliders?
Yeah,
okay.
sliders.
Right,
Slider
right.
burgers.
Yeah, okay, slider burgers. That's right.
Yep,
The bread's there. All right.
And then we also got, so we're at the well. We got the, it's like a half-eaten Mahomes.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's not even half.
Dallas has 14 total yards.
14 total yards. Jason Garrett, actually, at this point, you know what's really funny about it? At this point, he's actually trying to get fired. He said, hey, I need to get out of here, but I don't want to quit. Fire me so I can get some unemployment. Hey, help me out.
He's on his way.
14 yards.
He is on his way. I will say that.
He's on his way.
Hey,
Number 1 offense in the NFL.
Hold on.
Yards.
There was times like 2 years, not last year, not even 3 years ago, but like 4 years ago, Alex Smith would have like 30 yards. And the Chiefs would still somehow win the game because Andy Reid's just that good of a coach.
He is.
But he would do some adjustments or whatever, so maybe that's going to happen. It's not going to happen, but maybe.
Nah.
I got Eagles, like I said, I've been saying that. I got Eagles plus 1.5. Look at this.
Oh, there he's going up top.
Interception. What?
Did Gallup come away with that?
So,
Michael Gallup. So, yeah.
The rule is if both players catch at the same time, receiver has possession, which is fair.
Coach Harris, you mentioned, coming off 5-5 year, not exactly the outcome that you wanted or maybe we thought would happen, but again, kind of ran into, Harrisonville in the playoffs, who is a tough team and is always there. What are you and your guys doing, that you've started in the offseason that's going to get you kind of over that hump, after losing Harrisonville a couple years in a row?
First thing for us is weight room, and I'm big on the weight room, and everybody's doing it, but I think a lot of our mentality and our toughness comes from getting under a bar and putting a bunch of weight on it and getting stronger. So we lose that game. We've lost that game 2 years in a row now, and I think it just comes down to fight. It's not an athlete issue. It's not an X and O's issue. It's just a grit, determination type deal. I tell our guys all the time, Harrisonville, there's guys on that team that won the state title. I think they won the state title, I want to say in 15. I think it was 15. So there's some guys on that team that were part of the state championship team. So if we're going to be successful in the district playoffs, then we've got to be ready to get through those types of games. So.
Yeah. And it's always tough when you go up against that team with the rich history and tradition, and also a community like Harrisonville is a little different than Van Horn where you're at. I mean, there's little kids, you've been to games out there where they have their first grade team, second grade team, third grade, all the way up that are little wildcats. And, it's tough coming in as the new guy to beat that.
Right.
And so how are you, just focused on that and trying to change that and tell your guys, hey, we can get there. We can get this done.
Well, I mean, it's hard to catch up with that tradition and that history. So it's just about getting our guys to understand, like, we've got a chance to start our own. We've got a chance to build our own history and build our own tradition and be that team that the younger kids look up to. So we're focused on taking that next step and being one of those types of teams and being one of those elite teams where we're excited and we've got that tradition and we expect to get into the playoffs and we expect to play for district championships. So it's really a mindset more than it is anything, and getting those guys to believe and to understand that they can do it. But you got to get over that hump. You got to get through that team before you finally realize, like, man, it can be done and we can do it.
Yeah.
So, hey, Coach, after I saw you against Summit Christian, which Summit Christian, they had a magnificent year. They have a lot of good players. A lot of good players coming back next year. What were the things you were focusing on after that game?
Just making sure our kids kept our head up. I think, Summit Christian has been a team traditionally that we've struggled with. They're in our conference, and I've been there 4 years, and we haven't beaten them once. So it's a team that, when you come in, you have to beat them. They're not going to beat themselves. Right. We have to be perfect execution-wise, and we've got to play through the whistle. And, I told our guys, that's the team that we want to be. And it's kind of the same thing with the Harrisonville team. In order to be the team we want to be in our conference, that's the team we've got to prepare to beat. And so, that was my message to those guys after that game was we've got to learn how to win those games. And we've got to learn how to fight for 48 minutes or 60 minutes and win those games.
Yeah, definitely. Because, I mean, your team has a lot of athletes
Yeah.
on it. I can see it. You had tall receivers, Alan Lazard-looking receivers. And so, in the future, how are you going to get those guys involved?
That's game plan, scheme things, sit down and we look in the offseason and see things that we didn't do that we could have done and taken advantage of. But it's definitely a thing you want to do. You want to get those big, tall receivers, those fast guys, the ball in space. And we need to do a better job of that, of making sure that happens. But it's things that we can work on in the offseason, like I said, as a staff and talk about schematically.
Yeah, because definitely when I got there, looking at it, side to side, it looked like an even matchup to me.
Yeah.
And so, I was – and there were some big plays that happened, some things that happened, and players acted and reacted accordingly. But it was fun to go out to Van Horn and see that. It was a good game.
Yeah, I mean, and where they were, prior to you getting there, and then where you came in this short time is amazing to me. I mean, winning the first playoff game, with under the new system and the new format, there's all these stats. You always say you can make them stat for anything.
Right.
And they
just make you look good.
They're still fighting till the end. Yeah. That was the thing that I got from that is, man, you guys didn't quit. They kept playing. They did not stop. No matter, they run the ball. You guys did not stop. They're still looking to make plays. They're still participating.
And kind of what you're saying is we have had some decent success here quickly in the last couple of years, and I had to kind of take a step back because I had really high expectations for myself, my coaching staff, for my team, and realize that we're just in year 4 of the process, and our kids are still learning how to win those games, and they're still learning how to finish games, and they're still learning how to play when we're down by 7 or we're tied. And that's something that we're struggling with right now. We're trying to get through, and that's the next kind of step in our evolution as a program, is to be able to be down 7 points and say, you know what, we got this, and we've got enough talent, we've got enough explosive athletes to where we can come back and win this game, and our kids don't kind of get their heads down and kind of take themselves out of the game, because we do. We have the kids and we have the talent to compete with anybody, I believe.
Yeah, it's one of the most important things we talk about. We talk about when we have good coaches on the show all the time, we talk about culture. Always. And so when you're establishing a winning culture, that's one of the things you got to do whenever you get down a little bit. They got to keep their heads up. And I'll tell you what. When we have him on with some of these other coaches, I'm ready to run through a wall after I talk to these guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's how we know these programs are heading in the right direction, because they're just building confidence in your kids, and you're establishing that it's expectation. Act a certain way. When you get down by 14, this game's not over. Let's go. Let's keep going. So keep doing what you do, and so it's always nice to have you on and hear about the message that you're sending the kids and whatever. So, we know you're establishing a program there and you're establishing a culture, and we know it's going to continue. So, keep on going.
It's a plan.
We're always we're supposed to stay unbiased, here in our media role, but we're always pulling for you and what you guys are doing over there at Van Horn.
I appreciate it.
Well, real quick, we use our new thing we've been doing. We asked every guest is best barbecue, KC. Go.
Where's your go-to spot?
Well, you got to pick one. You got to be decisive.
Can I explain a little bit?
Yes.
All right. So when people ask me, what's the best barbecue in Kansas City, I have 2 categories of barbecue.
That's fine. Yeah.
So there's barbecue where when you eat it, you got to have a napkin because you got to wipe your hands off because you're messy and it's barbecue in your face. And then there's barbecue that's kind of gourmet barbecue. So I think there's 2 different types.
All right. Yeah, go for it.
If I'm talking sloppy, Gates is my go-to.
Okay.
All right. Now, if we're talking, I'm on a plate and I've got my food plated and it's nice and neat, Q39 is where
I knew. As soon as he started talking a little bougie, I was like, he's going with Q39 on the second option there.
It's different.
You know what's crazy though? A lot of people who've come on the show have said Gates. A ton of guys have said Gates, and Gates never even hits my. I must go. Okay, Gates never really even hits my top. It doesn't hit my top like 2 or 3. It really doesn't. I'm like a Jack Stack Joe's guy.
I do like Joe's. Joe's is really good too.
A lot of times, the nice thing about KC is,
can't go wrong with any of it.
Well, the thing is, the only thing I tell people is that, like, if you see a chain, you see a famous Dave's, stay away. don't go. You see a chain that's like in another state, like
Right.
it's good. Don't even do it. But
And we don't have a whole lot of those. I feel
No,
like.
Famous Dave's went out of business in like 6 months.
Because we just have too many local, like homegrown.
Well, everyone's like, you want to go to Famous Dave's? Like, not really. I'd rather go to Joe's. I'd rather go to Gates. I'd rather go to Q39. I'd rather go to Arthur Bryant's.
right.
Like,
I'd rather go to
it's easy.
LC's.
Sure.
Yeah,
I like
you
LCs.
know, over there.
As far as atmosphere, it's either the old Arthur Bryant's or it's LC's.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you one people that don't mention a whole lot. I like Big T's.
Okay.
I don't think
I think
no.
Big T's is really good.
Oh wait,
That's
Marcus
sweat
is
song.
shaking his head.
I'm a Big
yes.
T's fan. I really am.
Wait, where? I know Big T's.
There's
Where's Big
one
T's at?
on Brush Creek,
Yeah.
right up the street from LC's.
Yes.
And then there's
Okay,
one
yeah,
out
yeah.
on Bannister.
Yeah, I know the. Dang it, Big T's had some kind of slogan or something they used to always say all the time. It was like Big T, home something. I can't remember what it was. It was like a long time ago. But LC's is nice because it's like, man, I know you've had a fire in here within the last month,
Right.
And it's good.
Yeah.
That's what it looks
It's
like.
still good.
LC's is good. I have a bottle of LC sauce in my kitchen.
Oh, it is
now.
good.
The thing I can't figure about Gates is why they're always yelling at me when I walk in the door, man.
You better know what you want. You better know what you want.
I saw somebody on Twitter. They had a whole thread about people telling stories about going in there,
yelled at.
and
You yelled
taking
at.
people in there. Oh yeah.
I'll tell you, I will say
They're on you too if you're not ready.
I will say, as far as Gates goes, if you got somebody that's coming in town, take them there.
But
Be like,
warn 'em.
hey, go in
First.
No, don't warn them. No,
just
hey, you
let 'em
go.
shop.
Hey, you go. Yeah, you go first. You're my guest. Go ahead. What you want? All right, I got it.
But no, I grew up on Gates. Like, I've got
Yeah.
family in Michigan, and when we would go up there for like family reunions, they would say like, "Just bring us a case of sauce. Like, just bring
Yeah,
us
that's
anything." They
I love
love
the
it.
sauce.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing we like to talk about because we're KC guys.
You know, one
so.
place it was one of my favorites when I first moved to Kansas City. I worked down the street from it, BB's Lawnside. Have you ever been
I've
there?
never been there. Everybody says
never
it's
been there
awesome.
either.
I've
So
never
good.
been there.
Never been
It's
there.
right on the way, like on the center. It's
Yeah.
right there. I've
Yeah,
never
it's
been.
It's like just down the road. Yeah,
Everybody says it's awesome.
It's awesome.
So I've never
It's
been
a cool
there.
feeling
And the
to it, too.
atmosphere
It's got a
too. Yeah.
jazzy
Yeah.
type
Yeah.
of feeling to
I
it.
think what's evolving here is that we're Midwest Mikes. We talk about sports. Hey, it might turn into a barbecue show here pretty soon.
Hey,
Sports,
yeah.
Bring it
and
together,
food,
right.
hand in
sports,
hand.
and
What
food
else do
is,
you need?
sports and food is hand in hand.
It is.
Yeah.
Because I mean, KC's all about the tailgating.
Yeah.
And you know what? We went
And barbecue.
to the Chiefs Tennessee Titans game, and
We did.
Titans not so much tailgating, right? But when we talk to fans, we get a little friendly with them. They would say something like, "Man, you guys tailgate like a college town." I was like, "Yeah, we do because we don't have a college here in KC,
Yeah.
right? So you go to Columbia, and Lawrence is
They're
as far
really
as
bad right now.
We'll talk about- we'll talk about
as
that
far as
hell.
tailgating, but like that's how we do it. And so it's like our food and our sports do go hand in
Together,
hand.
yeah.
Yeah, because it's like a celebration time. So
And you brought up the college thing. You know, you're a Missouri fan.
I am.
yeah, me
what
too.
what did you think of the coaching change? You know, Barry Odom, he was fired, let go, and brought in
man, I might get a little bit-
Eli
Drinkwitz.
Drinkwitz. Okay.
Say the name right.
Yeah.
Drinkwitz.
So, what did you think about that personally as a coach and just as a fan?
The whole transition
Yeah.
from Barry. Well,
I mean, did you think Barry should have got more time?
it's hard to say that because I believe it's only 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, and 2 years is not enough time to do anything. But some of the losses they had were bad losses, like losing to Wyoming.
Yeah.
Was a terrible, terrible look. Like,
Yeah.
and it sounds crazy, but the thing about it that feel like makes it look worse is that they get up to beat other teams that are really good, and it's like just not consistently prepared to win games, and that was what bothered me about it. I like Barry, I did,
Yeah.
but I just felt like week in and week out, the team wasn't prepared for every game. Like, there's no way because Wyoming was the opening game, I believe.
Yeah, it was.
There's no way you lose the opening game to Wyoming. And then that was the thing that I didn't like about it, and I figured it was going to happen once he lost some other games. I was like, man, like this ain't going to be good for him. So I like the new guy. I was just at the Missouri Football Coaches Association down in Tentera. He came down and spoke and talked to us. So I like him. I like what he said about. They asked him, was it a rivalry with Arkansas now? And he said, did you see the kids that they flipped? He's like, it's definitely a rivalry. So I kind of like the way he's talking. So he's getting me a little fired up. So I'm anxious to see what he does, but I like what he's doing so far.
Okay.
We'll see. I thought 6 6 wins actually might be good enough to save Odin's job, but just like you said, the bad loss.
Yeah, it's a loss.
Wyoming bad loss.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt bad loss.
Yeah.
That's a bad loss.
Yeah, because Vanderbilt, that was the other one that was like, man,
pretty
that's
bad.
not gonna be good.
That was the game I bet on, and it was. I never had a shot at winning that game. Bet.
Unfortunately, in college, especially Division I, it's a big business, and those bad losses seem to mean more.